I went from living like monks, living out back of the trunk, to pockets of fat with the mumps, pockets of fat like the clubs. Now I am living like Trump, now I am living like Trump. Mimosas and mimosas, mimosas, samosa, mimosas, samosa, the Morris Costa Nostra. Pulling up in Testarossa, we charging the debt, discharging the debt, discharging the debt, recharging the jet. Swipers on deck, ciphers on deck, ciphers on deck, wipers on deck, wipers on deck. My life is on check, my life is on check, my life is on tubes, my life is a Jew, my life is on you, my wife is on two, my wife is on two. I'm going for 3, you know it is me. Bread is the pillar, the jet is my pillar.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Brother Rich. I'm joined once again with the honorable, the legendary.
every month you add more something, bro. I'm definitely not the honorable, man. I'm gonna leave that to somebody else.
I said I'm gonna change it up on Griff this week. Welcome back, brother. I'm glad we could, enjoy ourselves and bring some humor in a time when, things continuously go on around us that have people perplexed and confused. Before I get into that, I, as always, want to give a shout-out to the brothers and sisters who support me as well as Professor Griff on PayPal and on Patreon. Support is extremely important for us. The things we talk about is not received as well as other things that people talk about out there in the world of YouTube or social media. So your support means a lot to us, and I thank the brothers and sisters who pledge to support us, whether it's monthly or whether it's one time or whatever it may be. Shout out to the brother Aaron Ramesses with the book The Weird Negro is doing great. I advise everybody to support our black authors. And on that note, moving on to the show. Okay, so Professor Griff, check it out. We missed our show last week. So I talked to you a couple of days ago. We decided to address the Tupac movie, and we said we was gonna deal with Philandro Castille verdict for Wednesday night. Tonight's Wednesday night. I was in a barbershop earlier today, Professor Griff, getting the shape up, just having barbershop talk with the brothers. And we was talking about the verdict. We was talking about his mother, things his mother said. And, I want to start the show out like this. Instead of going right into that case, I want to start out with what I heard somebody say today, and we'll move forward from there. The barber who was cutting my hair said, man, listen, we just, at this point, this is what I'm not saying this, he's saying this. He's saying, at this point, black people, we just have to accept the fact that we have been cursed by God. And I'm listening, we all listening to him, and he's like, the dude got shot with his daughter in the car, his wife. He said, we done seen black people get killed in every way imaginable by the police, whether it's 50 times, whether it's a broomstick up his anus, whether it's beat the shit out of on camera like Rodney King. We done seen it all. And they all get off not guilty. And it happens year after year after year. And he was just going through decade of what we've been through. And he's saying that, this pretty much, it got to be a curse by God. There's nothing else it could be but that. For this race that we call black, for lack of better terms or words, to have to go through what they're going through before the whole world, and the whole world just keeps moving as if nothing's happening. Start out like that, Professor Griff. What do you think about that statement, Professor Griff?
Wow. Hold on, man. Hold on. That's a heavy-ass statement, man. Hold on. That's a heavy statement, Brother Rich. Cursed by God? I don't even know how to answer that. Shit. Cursed by God is a very, very heavy statement to say cursed by God, but because we are the victims of racism, white supremacy, we are the victims of their brutality, we are the victims of their devilishment, but yet you would turn around and you would actually lay that upon the shoulders of the victim that we're cursed by. Bruh, I am stumped. I don't understand how people can look at the amount of brutality and the amount of murder, theft, rape, pillaging that goes on, and it's been going on, and then someone in the barbershop, black, can turn around and blame it on the victim. That we've been cursed.
I think what he was alluding to is the fact that God would allow everything that you just said, allow that much to go on to this one group of people. He was alluding to there's no other rationalization but we have to be cursed for God to allow all of that to happen. That's what he was kind of alluding to.
So a rationalization could not have been, the rationalization could not have been, these are just devils? No, that couldn't have been it. Help me out, brother. Just help me out. Let me help. So it couldn't have been, this is just a race of devils, and this is just who they are, and what they've been designed to put on the planet to do. And the fact that we are gentle people, unforgiving people, and yet we've been kidnapped by these people and brought to America, and this is who and what these people are. It can't be that, but it has to be the fact that we are a cursed people. Brother Rich, I'm stumped. Seriously, bro. I'm just stumped. Out of all the questions you've asked me over the last 2 or 3 years, I can't even answer that. I am,
Well, for those that know, we're referring to Minnesota police officer Geronimo Yanez, I think.
Yanez.
Yanez, yeah. Minnesota police officer who was found not guilty of involuntary manslaughter on July 6, 2016. The shooting occurred. Philandro Castille was the victim. He was shot. A registered gun owner with his wife and his, I believe it was 4-year-old daughter in the back seat. He told the police officer that he was a licensed carrier, and I guess the officer asked him to reach for his license, and when he reached, that's when the officer fired 7 shots. The same thing, I guess it's the same thing we hear over and over, Professor Griff. I was scared. Pretty much the same thing. We hear this over and over. I was scared.
Yeah.
The Asian dude that shot the black guy in the staircase in New York, he said, I was scared. What's his name? The dude from Florida, same thing. I was scared. We keep hearing this, Professor Griff, regardless of how they're dressed, what they're wearing. I was scared.
Right.
How scary are we, Professor? I mean, where does this psychology come from that we're that scary? I mean, the man is sitting down, you're standing up. The position he's in, the position you're in. I mean, any position, any way we dress, suits, ties, hoodies, whatever, we're always being looked at as threatening. Talk to the people about that who may not have heard you talk about that before.
Well, you know something, Brother Rich? I think it's a case of the fact that how they painted the black man. The image that they've put in the mind from education, from the time that you went to school, right? Negro, made in the image of God, or a beast, or the image of God, which was one of the first elementary school books. In the religious system, the whole idea that anytime they talk about evil, it's always black. Dictionary, when you look at the term black, cartoons, television shows, movies, the good guy wears the white hat, the bad guy wears the black hat. Characters, monsters. So a daily dose of this, Brother Rich, from media and now social media. By the time you get in the situation, they're carrying a gun, and now they're in a position of authority, and they're still scared. They're scared from a subconscious level, Brother Rich. Yeah. Well, if you're scared, go get a job, man, as a janitor somewhere, man. You understand what I'm saying? You being a police officer, policing is not a joke, man. That's not a job for cowards. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a job for cowards, and I think that we need to understand this particular dynamic and how this thing works, Brother Rich. And I think those people that would like to take the side of the justice system, I really don't think they understand what this thing is about, man. They don't understand what Dr. Francis Creswell talks about. They don't understand what Amos Wilson talks about. When he talks about this particular system and how the system is not broken, the system is doing exactly what the system is designed to do. They don't understand Bobby E. Wright, his psychopathic racist personality, when he talks about the reason why black people don't kill black people because we haven't been trained to kill black people. White people have been trained to kill black people. And this is what they do, and they do it well. They perfected the art of killing black people. I can recite you author after author after author after black leader and what they said about the whole dynamic of race in America. And most people, most of them officers, have it in their subconscious mind that they are afraid of the black man, plain and simple, simply because of their upbringing and what's been implanted in their mind about the black man being a demon, being a monster, being ugly, especially with Birth of a Nation, a whole entire 2-hour movie that was centered around the brutality of black men coming to rape white women. So much so that it gave birth to this organization called the Ku Klux Klan.
I was watching.
No, go on. No, go on, brother.
No, I was going to say I was watching the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and he was saying that it's a damn shame that the NRA is not more vocal about, protecting its registered gun owners. That this is what they should be fighting for. If you're a gun owner, and you're registered and you're legal, this is what this is what they make their speeches for. Every American deserves to carry arms and protect their family. This man was killed with his family in his car, and he was a registered gun owner. And it's funny because I was watching some Tupac interviews because after the movie, I decided to binge on some Tupac interviews, and I was watching, and Tupac was saying the same thing, that he's a registered gun owner, but for some reason that doesn't apply to black men or black people. You can carry a gun unless you're black. So I'm like, damn, Pac was saying this in 1994, 2017. Talk to me about that, Professor Griff.
Well, you know something, Brother Rich, the whole idea of stand your ground is not meant for black people. It's not designed for black people. There are laws that's just only designed for white people. You understand what I'm saying? I know one time the cop pulled me over. I had my heat in the car. When he pulled up, I put my heat on the dashboard to show him where it was. You understand what I'm saying? Luckily, with the black cop and the black cop, he just didn't have no fear. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how that would have turned out if that was a white cop. I just don't know, Brother Rich. I just don't know how that would have turned out if that was a white cop. But luckily, it was a brother. And that's the law in Georgia. And as long as it's visible, and it was unloaded. But there are 2 laws in America Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad teaches. One written law and one unwritten law. You understand what I'm saying? And white people don't follow the written law. They have an unwritten law. She took them a year to come up with this verdict, man. Took them an entire year. Which I don't even understand I don't even understand that. Maybe it gave the prosecuting attorneys and these kind of people time to prepare their case, and even the defense attorneys. But my thing is, if you watch, they released the dash cam video. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It was like textbook murder, man.
Yeah, straight up.
Textbook murder, bro. And that's just. I'm stumped, man. I was watching it and watching some of these clips and reading some of the stuff before you called, and I was just, I thought when you called, I was shocked by the phone, because I'm just thinking, I'm not even thinking it was 11 o'clock yet, but I'm like, damn, they just murdered this brother, man. That could have been anyone. Me, you, anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It says charges against Officer Yanez, including second-degree murder, manslaughter, and endangering safety by discharging a weapon. All of these charges, I think 3 or 4 charges, dismissed. He got pulled over for a broken tail light. He told him he had a license to carry a firearm. And he still died. I think, Brother Rich, we've died in every way imaginable, man. Every way imaginable in America. And I'm just not surprised.
I was reading some of the comments, looking at some of the videos, reading some of the comments. And it appears some people are confused by the fact that, the word racism is being used and white supremacy is being used so much because the cop is not, a white guy. These cops that kill these brothers and these sisters, they come in all colors. They're black, they're Hispanic, they're white, they're Asian. As I said, the one in New York, they're Asian. They come in all colors. Why do you, for those who may be a little confused, Professor Griff, why do you use the term white supremacy when I just told you all of these officers come in all different colors, white, Hispanic, Asian, black, yellow, brown? Why use this term white supremacy if that's the case, Professor Griff?
Because, Brother Rich, we need to keep in the front of our minds that racism, white supremacy, Brother Rich, is a system, man. You understand? These are not independently. These are not white people and other people that are acting solely on their own. It's a system. It's a mindset. It's a spirit. It says racism, white supremacy is the local and global power system and dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It is structured, and it is maintained by persons who classify themselves as white. That don't mean to say that everyone that follows the system and that participates in the system is going to be white. Because it's structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white. Now, whether this happens consciously or subconsciously determined, and it consists of patterns. Now, if you understand the patterns of perception, if you understand its logic, or its illogic in this case, its symbol formation, penis envy, in order to annihilate that thing that can pose the greatest threat to me, I have to neutralize it and pull out my equalizer, which is my gun. So you're talking about symbol formation. You're talking about thought. He's a black, burly man with locks, and I smell weed. I think every black man is out to kill and rape every white woman, so I better kill him first. Thought, speech. So I have a loaded gun. I'm licensed to carry. I have a license for it. Action and emotional response as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity. Those areas are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war for the ultimate purpose, not the only purpose, but the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation on the planet Earth. Those people that benefit from this system being in place, you don't think they have invested interest into keeping the system of racism, white supremacy functioning and well-groomed and oiled? Come on, man. Will some of the other people that belong to these other colors participate and benefit from the system of racism, white supremacy? Of course they will. But they're classified, which is this social construct called race, and Dr. Francis Cresswell-King talks about that, but they're classified by white-skinned people. The system of racism, white supremacy utilizes deceit and violence inclusive of chemical warfare, biological warfare, and psychological warfare, indeed by any, every, and all means necessary to achieve its ultimate objective of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation. Will white people get other people to do their bidding? Yeah, of course they will. Yeah.
And what
this
book
is
is that?
just reality of the system. Excuse me?
And what book is that for, again? For the people
That's in the ISIS papers, The Keys to the Colors by Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. And you can also read that definition in Neely Fuller's book that we affectionately call The Code.
Mm-hmm.
The compensatory code system workbook, I believe it's called.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I hope the people paid close attention to that one. I hope they did.
Yes, it's a must simply because Neely Fuller said, if you don't understand racism, white supremacy, everything that you think you understand will only confuse you. And in this case, with that question that you just asked me, people are confused on how is it that Professor Griff keeps saying it's racism, white supremacy, when the police officer in this case was probably Hispanic.
Right, right. So, Philandro Castille mother was talking, and one of the things she said, powerful woman, one of the things she said was, we're devolving, we are going back to 1968. Let's talk about that, Professor Griff, because a lot of people think racism resurfaced during the era of Obama. A lot of people think it never went nowhere. Talk to me about racism in this country. Sometimes it seems overt, sometimes it seems covert, but nonetheless, it's always there. Does it seem like we're going back to 1968, Professor Griff?
I'm curious. I was at that time. Why did she? I heard her talk. And in my mind, I said, well, I wonder why she chose that year. Do you have any insight on that?
No.
I think because that's the earliest recollection of this degree of violence, right, that she can pull up and muster up to give as an example. When we can roll our minds back prior to that, we've suffered in Reconstruction, although it wasn't necessarily in your face. We suffered during Jim Crow. We suffered during when they was establishing the Freedmen's Bureau. We suffered right after physical slavery. We suffered during slavery. We suffered when they were rounding us up and bringing us over in holds of ships, and women were throwing their children overboard and jumping overboard themselves rather than come to America. So much so that the sharks had charted out the path that the ships would take, and the sharks knew that it was feeding time just by following the ships. We suffered on the continent when they came on the continent to round us up. We suffered during the colonization period and the land grab and carving up Africa. So much so that when you mention Leopold and some of these other devils, black people can't even muster up the strength to even pull together enough brain cells to pull together a memory to even figure out what happened. 10 million black Africans died under Leopold's rule. So when you're talking about a time in the history of white people that black people haven't suffered, you name a time. For her to choose 1968, that was a bleep. That was some lint on a fur coat in white people's history and their brutal, wanton murder of black people. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. During the 60s, we call it the turbulent 60s simply because that's when black people started fighting back. The 60s gave birth to high brand revolutionaries. Are you following what I'm saying? The 60s gave birth to BLA. The 60s gave birth to even white organizations that fought against injustice in America, whether it be on a college campus or in the streets. The 60s gave birth to organizations that later became the bedrock to liberation struggle for black people in America. So maybe she's pulling from a time that she can roll her mind back to the point where she can compare this to. But we had worse times. Read Ginsburg's book, 100 Years of Lynching. Now, he only documented 100 years. So the 60s, yeah, that was mild. That was mild. King died in 68. Malcolm X died prior to that. You understand what I'm saying? But, yeah, I think she said that she hasn't seen this much violence since 1968. I think, but because during the turbulent 60s, I'm not sure how old she is, but she rolls her mind back to a point where we were at least getting some degree of justice because the Panthers did fight them in court. Other organizations did fight them in court and win. So I think if her mind serves her correctly, 68 must have been a year that she could roll her mind back and remember, especially with what was going on with the black power movement and the civil rights movement, Brother Rich.
I got two more questions for you, Professor Griff. I did not know there was this book. I heard I was listening to Tariq Nasheed's show, and he was talking about a book called Everyone Lies by Seth Stevens Novidowitz, I think. And this dude was basically saying how, words are the least purveyor of truth. So people, not only will people lie to each other, but people often lie to themselves. So you rarely get truth out of people if a person is lying to themselves. If you expect to get truth out of somebody by the words they speak, you might be, you might be sadly mistaken for that right there. But by studying people's the keywords that they enter in Google, their search history, and all of their Google history, you really see what type of person everybody is, what they're looking for, what they're searching for. And he said that during the time of Trump, there was a lot of racist searches going on, a lot of race search for all types of crazy shit. And the dude was like, well, you know what? I think people are underestimating how racist people really are. I know Trump seems like an idiot, but this country is more racist than anybody thinks. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I remember when, the internet speed was getting real fast, and YouTube was picking up, and Facebook and all of this. And Griff, I could be looking at something. I could be looking at something like basketball. Something totally non-related to race. Who's the best rapper, Jay-Z or Nas? Some shit like that. And I'll see all this racist shit in the comment section, and I'm scratching my head like, well, goddamn, where'd this come from? We talking about who's a better MC. And it's just insane racism in the comment section and all over the internet. So eventually I figured out, damn, okay, people get to let this out. They couldn't let it out before, but now they get to let this shit out of them and type it on the computer screen because they can hide. Talk to me about. Did you? You've been studying this for quite some time. Does any of this ever surprise you? What you see on the computer, anything that you see? Because the amount of racism that's on the internet is like, damn. Talk to me about racism, the internet, trolls, forums, the comment section. What's your take on all of that, Professor Griff?
Well, Brother Rich, the internet is just an extension, all right? We keep forgetting, Brother Rich, It's the mind. The internet came out of someone's mind, Brother Rich. So the whole idea of the internet, the whole idea of a website where you can go and you can put your feelings and your emotions on the internet for everyone to read, it does not surprise me, Brother Rich. Elijah Muhammad said 100% of the people, 85% of the people are blind, deaf, and dumb. 85% of the masses of people, not 85% of black people, 85% of the masses of people are blind, deaf, and dumb. I am not surprised, Brother Rich, at the level of it. Listen, racism is systemic. What I mean by that is it's interwoven into the fabric of everyday white life. Everyday white life. And the supporting cast is the school. The supporting cast is the religion, the church. And these are systems that work in concert with one another. The supporting cast is the courtroom, the judicial system, right? The supporting cast is that the white boy is on the face of all of the money. So everywhere you look, it's white, and then the brother turn around and gets him a white woman. Not surprised. I'm not surprised that when I turn on and go online, I'm not surprised that I could be. I'm constantly looking for camera equipment. I'm constantly looking for different ways to shoot, different technology to use to make Serious Mind Radio and TV better. And like you, I'm searching for a lens. I'm searching for a certain kind of iPad or camera. And racism hits you right smack dab in the face. The amount of racism that I experience, and it's unfiltered, wow. You could get away with a lot as long as you don't use French, these curse words, as though no other words can offend us. The mere fact that we don't have a language that we could use as ours, that we could speak to one another, having to be forced, I know it's not grammatically correct, being forced to speak the bastard language called English to communicate with one another, in which we don't do well, because we have a certain vibration that the English language can't contain. This is why we talk with our hands and our body language to complete the sentence. This is how come we get choked up. You say, fuck it, man, you know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't surprise me. To answer your question directly, it doesn't surprise even the sophisticated websites. It just does not surprise me, Brother Rich. They just speak about racism and call black people niggas in a more sophisticated way on the other sites. That's all.
Well, last question, Professor Griff. When you look at his mother and you see his mother grieving the way she was grieving and telling black people you and you and you and you are next, and just the emotions that was on the podium at that time, and you hear people say that this shooting was a hoax. What's your opinion? People that continuously say things like this are fake, and then you got brothers and sisters say, wait till that and let that happen to your family. Let's see how fake this shit is when it happened to your family. Talk to me about fake news, these hoaxes that people keep saying all these shootings are hoaxes, and just when shit is really going on, and people it's to the point where people think everything is fake right now, Professor Griff.
Brother, to be honest with you, you struck a nerve when you asked me that question, because I've argued with so many black people online. I don't anymore, because I don't lend them my energy. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? I've participated in going back and forth online. I said Walter Scott was running away and got shot in the back. Oh, man, that was fake. You see how slow he was running? What do you mean he was fake? It's a dead man in the morgue right now with bullet holes in him. How is that fake? I mean, I don't understand it. So they got together and they went to the police department and they acted this out and planned that they was going to, I don't understand. What do you mean fake? I'm trying to understand that you see what happens. These retarded assholes stay high all day, popping pills, X, and all this other stuff. And they staying drugged up and too much and social media, digital heroin in their veins. So much so that they get overload of social media, of YouTube, to the point where they don't believe anything. They don't even believe that they're on YouTube watching YouTube. They believe that, but because I remember they was calling me fake for years. Oh, he's cloned. I'm cloned. I laugh. Like, well, how is I cloned? What do clone people do? I don't know. Do clone people even sleep? I was trying to figure it out. It's like, wow. Who introduced you to YouTube? Because you binging, and these are the same f***ers that come up with a flat Earth theory. When I heard that, when I scratched my head, I'm like, wait a minute. There are 4 seasons. The Earth rotates so we can have the summer solstice, which we're in now. This is the first day of summer, right? When the Earth rotates in another few months, it'll be fall, right? Then it rotates a few more on its axis, creating a winter equinox. Then we'll go to spring, and the vegetation and the plants spring back to life, and it's going to go back to summer again. That's because the Earth rotates, right? And then there's water on the Earth, and gravity is keeping the water on the planet, right? And the planet rotates. And do you walk off? Do you just keep walking and you walk off the planet? And then how does seasons, you see, if we had a knowledge of self, we wouldn't fall for stupid shit like that. There's satellites that are up out there beyond the ionosphere that have looked back at the Earth and taken pictures. I mean, there's telescopes that you can look at other planets. Our wise scientists done mapped and started out the Earth and laid ley lines and grids, and we know the Earth is round. What are you talking about? No, Professor Griff, you know damn well Earth is flat. I think these people are just sick, Brother Rich. They're products of the American educational system. They're the same ones with high school diplomas and college degrees. But they have a college degree in underwater bubble bath. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you have any degree of knowledge, you know this stuff that you're talking is just way, 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 way to the left. In the book that Tariq Nasheed mentioned by A.D. Garrett, Everyone Lies, he says we can all see, but can you observe? What is that process of observing? He says the context is everything. And which is real. You have to keep the context is everything. What is the context that you're saying that this shooting is fake? Like, what's fake about it? Real cop pulls over a real black family. Real cop with a real gun with real bullets in it. Shoots black man in the head. Real black man dies in a real way. Loss of life. Real. What is fake about that? Real funeral, real mother comes on the air, real verdict, real cop gets off. What's fake about that? The only thing that's fake about that is the individual bringing this mindless ass stupidity to a situation like that, and coming up with this whole concept that the whole idea of Philando Castille was fake. Stop that, Brother Rich. We have to do better. And as this book, Everyone Lies, says, if you will lie to yourself, and at the end of the day, never question yourself or why you even telling the lie. I wonder if them people ever sit back and say, well, why do I say that was fake? What kind of investigative reporting and journalism did I do to come to that conclusion? Because if context is everything, what context is that in? What part of it was fake? Absolutely none, Brother Rich. And we have to get back to ourselves. I think Professor Smalls was absolutely correct. Leonard Jeffries was absolutely correct. Roosevelt Middleton was absolutely correct. Asa Hilliard was absolutely correct. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, Steve Coakley, Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, Ivan Van Sertima, Chancellor Williams, George G.M. James, Public Enemy, KRS-One, Sister Queen Latifah, Sister Soldier, Assata Shakur, Yara Satiwa, Winnie Mandela. Everyone was right when they said black people are out of their goddamn minds. And we are. We're out of our minds. Our minds have been taken out of us and from us. And we're operating with someone else's mind in us. For us to utter the word that this is fake. And some of those people are right, Brother Rich, and this is my last statement. Some of those people are right. Yeah, it's fake up until it happens to somebody in your family. And that's just real, Brother Rich. This is real as real can get, man. And sure enough, his mom is right. You're next. You'll see what I'm feeling. You'll see what Mike Brown's mom felt. You'll see what Trayvon Martin's mom felt. This is real, man. Real people are getting shot down in a real way, Brother Rich. For real. That's all I got to say about it, man.
Indeed, man. Indeed. I'm glad you broke it down like that, brother. I'm really glad. Leave your contact info, my brother, and let them know what you got coming up.
As always, my contact information is 678-557-2919. You can call me anytime, day or night. Don't. I'm still getting them damn phone calls, brother. It's 3:30 in the morning, bro. People haven't learned yet, man. Just come on. And you let the brother sleep. Call me at a decent hour, man. You understand? I had to exercise that function on my phone, man. I just put the phone to sleep at a certain hour where people can't call me. But anyway, this Sunday I'm going to be at Soleil's. Kung Fu School in Lanham, Maryland. I'm going to be teaching a subject called The Art of War, Brother Rich. And, you know, I couldn't wait to do this talk simply because, Brother Rich, we need to pass some survival techniques and some discipline down to young people. I'm going to dive into the whole idea of the discipline of martial arts and FOI and military training that caused me to have a certain degree of discipline to survive racism and white supremacy. All right? I'm going to do a slide presentation. It's this Sunday, June 25th, 2017 at 3 p.m., 3 to 7 at Dragon Academy of Martial Arts, 8807A, Annapolis Road, Lanham, Maryland. The phone number to call is 240-770-7373. Call that number right now, y'all. Get your tickets. All right, 240-770-7373. All right, or you can register online at www.professorgriff.me or visit Dragon Academy of Martial Arts on Facebook. It's only a dub. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's a little bit more at the door. But young people can get in for half price. Or just call me at 678-557-2919. I'm also going to be in Stone Mountain, Georgia. You ever been to Stone Mountain, Georgia, Brother Rich?
When I was young. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, that's one of the headquarters of the KKK, man. Yeah, I'm going to be in Stone Mountain, Georgia on Sunday, July 9th at 5 p.m. All right, I'm going to be talking about the signs of the times. All right, from 5 to 7, the cost is a dub to get in. That's a $20 dub sack. Come on, y'all. All right, it's at the Cool Breeze Smoothie and Juice Bar, 961 Main Street, Stone Mountain, Georgia. All right, it's amazing, man, that, you know, they're having me there in Stone Mountain. I'm happy to come to Stone Mountain. I want to see what Stone Mountain is built like. But, Brother Rich, there's still room in the class, my Know Thyself online class that I'm giving, which starts July 4th. All right? It's for 4 weeks. It's the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, and the 27th. Every Tuesday at 8 to 10. You can still sign up. It's presented by Serious Minds RNTV. Know Thyself online class. To register and to get an online, to register, go online and get a course outline and curriculum. Go to www.professorgriff.me. This is a 4-week course, which will give people a foundation from which they can build from. They can build a base from, Brother Rich. Because if those individuals had a knowledge of self, they wouldn't be talking about no goddamn flat earth, man. You understand what I'm saying? Happy but sad at the same time. I'm going to be in Florida during the month of August, which is the hottest goddamn month of the year. Why am I going to Florida? Brother Rich, you're killing me, bro. But anyway, in the month of July, Saturday, July 1st, I'm going to go down and do the resurrection of the Nat Turner Save the Land fundraiser, July 1st. The number to call for that one is call A.J. Jones at 804-309-2969. All right? I'll be in Southampton, Virginia to do a fundraiser. We got to unite all the conscious people and unite the conscious community so we can save the land that Nat Turner was born on, man. Mm-hmm. All right? We're asking people to support the fundraiser. It's $20 up in advance and $40 if you get it the day of. All right? We got to support. Vendors are welcome. Donations are welcome. There's transportation to the place. You can get the tickets early. All right? Call 804-309-2969. All right? These are real events and real things that we're doing, Brother Rich. I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida, man, August 19th and 20th. All right? The Marcus Garvey Cookout. I ain't gonna be flipping no damn burgers, Brother Rich, but I'm gonna be in Jacksonville with the brothers and sisters celebrating the born day of Marcus Garvey, and we're gonna give a rundown of the Marcus Garvey's accomplishments. The phone number to call for that event is 904-359-0980. 359-0980. That's 904-359-0980. Go to www.salammasjid.com. The 19th and the 20th. Now listen, on the 5th of August, I'm going to be with my man, Smooth Matty Matt, down in Florida, man. I don't know if you know Smooth Matty Matt, but August 5th is a Saturday from 4 to 10. I'll be at the Stadium Hotel, 21485 Northwest 27th Avenue. All right, there's going to be vendors, live performances, and I'm gonna break down aspect of my book. I'm gonna go deeper into the book of Brother Rich and break down some of these chapters. I just said to myself, I'm gonna let the entire cat out the bag, Brother Rich, and I'm gonna break down all of the symbols that are in the Bible. Can I put you to the test right now, Brother Rich?
Go ahead, brother.
Name me 5 symbols that are in the Bible that the average black person overlook. I'm talking about a symbol. Name the symbols of the Bible.
Oh, shit, you got me on that, Professor Griff. I'm not a Bible.
Of course, the cross. Of course, when you read Genesis, it's the apple, it's the snake, it's the tree, Jacob's ladder. You know, there's all kind of symbols. Mm-hmm. All of these symbols need to be decoded and broken down. And while we give our allegiance to Pastor and Reverend Fatback on Sunday morning, you understand what I'm saying? And then I'm going to actually do the flip side to that and break down some of the symbols that are in the Quran.
That's what's up.
And I know some of the Muslims are listening right now and say, Astaghfirullah. Bro, don't go there. I got to go there. We got to balance this thing out, man. There are symbols in both books that black people and imams and pastors and preachers and ministers haven't decoded. Minister Farrakhan probably did the best job. Him and Khalid did probably the most thorough job. Ashwa Kwesi is one of the ones that probably did the best job in decoding some of these symbols that are in the Bible and in the Quran. I'm just picking up after those magnificent brothers. Last but not least, Brother Rich, I'm going to be at Sprouts in Catonsville, Maryland, July 2nd. I was there before. It was a beautiful turnout. It's a smoothie and juice bar. And the brother's not going to close. He's going to keep it open so people can kind of float through. You understand what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing, Brother Rich, because when there's music, when there's people talking, when there's food being served, oh yeah, we pay most attention. All right. Shout out to Big Tex. Our gig in July 23rd, we had to cancel it in Dallas, Texas. But guess what, Brother Rich? Me and Terminator X getting together, and we're doing the history of hip-hop.
Oh, man, that's big.
I'm going to do a slide presentation while he DJ at the same time. So when I put up on the board one of the pivotal artists that had conscious material or songs that moved the masses, Terminator X is going to go from the ones and twos and put it down, man. I can't wait for this, man. Professor Griff and Terminator X reuniting to go over the history of hip-hop. Hey, let's make it happen.
Yeah, that's big.
But that's it, Brother Rich. It's the next couple of months. I'm going to be rocking and reeling and making it happen. Shout out to my son, Rob Mega, who's getting married. My daughter already got married this year now. My son is getting married. And my stepdaughter, Dejan, is getting married. Her and Will, that's Soleil's daughter, getting married next month, as a matter of fact. So I got a few weddings to go to, Brother Rich.
Okay.
I don't want them to jinx me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Well, you a busy man the next couple of months, Professor Griff. You a busy man.
Oh, give thanks. Ain't no rest for the weary, man. I got to do what I have to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed. Well, I want to thank you once again for coming on the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening for our double doses this week. We got a good reception from the last show. I want to thank everybody that watched the last video.
Wow. I don't mean to cut you off, but wow, man. I was getting hit every which way, Brother Rich. We had to put the Fear of a Black Planet lecture off until July 8th in Baltimore. I got hit with that. And the brother called me mad that we had to change the date, and he went on me on the Tupac thing. Yo, man, how could you say Tupac was a living contradiction, a walking contradiction? I'm like, come on, bro. Listen to the whole interview. Rich did a beautiful job with the questions that you formulated and put together, and those are questions that you ask. I don't know what you're going to ask.
Right.
I thought it was a beautiful conversation. It was thorough.
Indeed. Yeah. Anyway. They gotta listen to the interview instead of just reading comments or looking at a title and assuming what was said. But look at the video. It's definitely a great conversation. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in as usual. And we signing out. We gonna see you next week, family.
Peace, family. This is Brother Rich from UGR, urging all my viewers and subscribers to help support the channel by donating just $1 to the UGR PayPal account. We appreciate the viewership and support, and we understand the power of $1. If you benefit in any way, shape, or form, we ask that you donate $1, whether it be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, or yearly, so that we can build our brand to compete with the NBCs, the MTVs, and the Foxes of the world. I figure since Kanye could ask Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion, I could ask my subscribers to donate $1 so I could make the best possible content possible. The main objective of this channel is to inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. So hopefully throughout the years of you watching this program, you have been inspired to become the greatest version of yourself. If you would like to donate, you could go to www.paypal.com and send a donation to richandmerit7@yahoo.com. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your program.
I went from living like monks, living out back of the trunk, to pockets of fat with the mumps, pockets of fat like the clubs. Now I am living like Trump. Now I am living like Trump. Mimosas and posas, mimosas and mosa, mimosas and mosa, the Morris Costa Nostra. Pulling up in Testarossa, we charging the debt, discharging the debt, discharging the debt, we charging the jet. Swipers on deck. Ciphers on deck. Ciphers on deck. Wipers on deck. Wipers on deck. My life is on check. My life is on check. My life is on tubes. My life is a Jew. My life is on you. My wife is on 2. My wife is on 2. I'm going for 3. You know it is me. Bread is the pillar. The jet is my pillar.